Hello, so this is sort of a requested video. Laserpoint Productions, who's a very big donator to me, so big thanks to him, asked me if I could sort of do a review on some very expensive dust masks. Now, a lot of you probably know I'm not a massive fan of dust masks, but he was quite interested in this kind of one. Now, I don't think the one he recommended was this exact model, but I bought the closest thing I could find to it, and it's actually surprisingly good. So, this is a combination of a charcoal and a dust mask, basically. It's a P2 rated dust mask, as you can see there, but it also has a charcoal layer in it, so if you see why it's like a dark grey sort of colour, it's because it's got charcoal in. The inside just looks like a standard dust mask. Now, this one's actually very well created. So it was called something like the Solway Alphamesh gas mask. Not gas mask, sorry, dust mask. But this is actually a very well built one. So I'll try and explain why this particular dust mask is good. Now, it had its trial by fire today because I was volunteering, opening bags of hay that send dust everywhere. So I was wearing this and my hay fever symptoms did not get set off at all, and my asthma symptoms did not get set off. So I wasn't wheezy or sneezy, so the mask did its job. So the only negative thing I have to say about this is it doesn't really work with glasses, because the ridge, at least my glasses, the ridge on it's a bit too firm for the glasses to sit on well. So it's got two straps on this. It's got the neck strap, which is adjustable, and it's also got a sort of top strap. So if we put this on, put this one here. Now this one actually sort of sits into your chin, which I quite like. It's a bit like with the Soviet Y2K sort of dust mask respirator. So now if we just stretch this over here, what I just need to do is get these back a bit, because what's happened is the sort of little clasp at the back has moved in a bit when I've had it stored. So you have this little back clasp for it, so you stretch this around the back of your neck, clip it on. The only awkward thing with this really is doing the plastic clip behind your head. It's not too bad, but I have seen better designs, but again, it's designed as a disposable mask really. Okay, so when that's on, you can tighten those up a little bit. So you have this strap above your ears. You can either have it up like that on your head. That's the best place for these sort of straps, or you can have it sort of just behind your ears. So for convenience, I'll put it behind my ears, but ideally they're meant to be about there, so you get the most tension on the mask. So the reason this works well is obviously because it's got this sort of soft plastic mesh on it. Now, what this does is it basically keeps the mask rigid in the places it needs to be rigid. Now, a big complaint I have with dust masks normally is that because they're not rigid enough in certain areas, the seals always fail. Now, I'd personally still say to most people, if you're working with asbestos or any kind of dangerous dust like that, do yourself a favour and spend a little bit more money for a proper rubber half-face respirator, just because they make much better face seals, you know, than put P3 filters on it. But I'm just using this for allergy use kind of thing, you know, as a preventative measure, where I want something light and compact that will fit in a jacket pocket easily, and I can just take it on and off quickly, and that's ideal. This is ideal for that. So as I said, my only complaint is I can't really wear glasses with this. The good news is your chin basically sits in this very comfortably, so it's not one of those ones where you have to sort of wear it like that. You know, it does actually let your chin go in. I don't think there are sizes for this. I assume it's one size fits all, where you just do the rear strap up tighter if you want it on tighter, just to demonstrate that. I'll move that rear strap in a bit more. There we go. It actually makes a very good face seal, and it's also charcoal impregnated. So what I'll just do now is, the charcoal impregnation in this is not good enough that you could use it like a gas mask. It's not going to be, there's not enough charcoal in here, because it's just essentially a thin layer of charcoal in the particulate filter. The charcoal is not good enough that you could use it like a gas mask against hazardous gases. However, it is good if you are trying to eliminate odours, or at least cut down on sort of nasty odours getting into the mask. So let's say you're cleaning up something that's really filthy and there's like black mould there. The particulate level would protect you from the mould, and the, you know, the charcoal in there is at least going to protect you from sort of horrible smells to a decent degree. When I tested this with banana oil, you could faintly smell the banana oil, but nowhere near as much as some, you know, those like small bad Chinese filters, the refillable ones. Despite the charcoal layer obviously being thinner in this stopped more of the smell getting through than the small Chinese filter did, so they're better in that regard and things like that. Obviously there's an exhale valve there, quite a well constructed exhale valve, because the actual little cutaway for the air is downwards, so it's only going to flow downwards. The exhale valve seems to work fine on this. Because there's enough space in the mask, when you exhale it, the air doesn't seem to directly come out, but the exhale valve obviously does function. But overall, this is very good. So as said, it's still a dust mask, and if you're working with asbestos or actually really hazardous things, I would recommend going for a half-face respirator or full-face respirator made out of rubber with, replaceable filters. But as a disposable style mask, this one is very good. Now, I know there's other brands of these where they do a similar design, but what makes this work really well is this sort of soft, plasticky, sort of rubber bit that keeps the mask firm in places but not uncomfortably tight. So now, without more talking about it, I'll go get something just to demonstrate that the charcoal layer in it does actually have some effect. So here I have some plant feed containing nitrogen, as you can see on there. As I said, this really makes you sort of gag and wheeze if you inhale this without a mask on. So what I'll do, as you can see, basically this is good enough that things that would be quite irritant don't bother you at all. So as I said, it's not a gas mask. Don't get this expecting it can stop chemical weapons or anything that's like a really dangerous industry gas. Because I don't think this is even rated to an A1 standard, as in sort of organic vapour 1. But it is good enough that you could wear it doing jobs that, or out for my uses, like I said, allergy uses and things like that. But yeah, this is certainly a good enough mask that I'd actually recommend it as a disposable dust mask. Now, I won't be disposing of it, obviously. What I'm going to keep it for is just simply whenever I want to do something that involves hay fevery kind of things or working with dust, and I don't want to get out a full-size half-face or full-face respirator. But yeah, as I said, this is a very good design. Exhale valves in just the right place. Material keeps it tight to your face. It's not uncomfortable by any means. As I said, the only negative thing I can think of is that my glasses don't particularly fit with it, but that's nothing new to sort of small respirators. But I'd rather have one that actually sits tight to the bridge of my nose than have one that lets air in there that I could wear glasses with. So yeah, overall I'm very impressed with this. So this was called something like the Alpha Solar Industries Alphamesh mask when I bought it on eBay. But as I said, there are other brands of disposable dust masks, some with charcoal, some without charcoal, that actually kind of have this like plasticky, rubbery mesh on there that keeps the mask tight to your face without being uncomfortable. So yeah, a thumbs up recommendation for one of these. Also again, just a big thank you to Laserpoint Productions for obviously his kind donations, because he's donated a lot recently, and I'd just like to thank him again for all the donations. And obviously I was happy to actually report that these things are probably better than you'd expect. So thanks for watching. I won't provide a link to these because, as I said, there's lots of different varieties of these, but yeah, if you are looking for a disposable style dust mask, I'd recommend paying a slight bit more for it. This one was just under £6. If you buy them in bulk, they're a bit cheaper. But it might seem a lot spending £5 to £6 on a disposable style dust mask, but if you are going to bother getting dust masks, don't waste your money on the really cheap ones that can't hold a good face seal. Either, spend a few quid for one of these that work, or pay a bit more for a half face or full face respirator. But there you go, much better than I was expecting.